Hey there! Today I want to talk about neo-feminism. When we talk about feminism, an important distinguishment has to be made. On one hand, we have classical feminism, and on the other hand, we have neo-feminism, so new feminism. The intention of classical feminism is noble. It demands equality for both genders in natural human rights. Women should receive the same pay for the same work, and neither a patriarchy nor a matriarchy is desired. So, men shouldn't be in control and dominate women, and women shouldn't be in control and dominate men. So basically, a cooperation between the genders is desired. And that makes absolute sense, doesn't it? We are all humans and we all should have the same natural rights. Neo-feminism, on the other hand, doesn't follow such noble goals. It demands additional rights for women over men. It attempts to equate the genders in all aspects, not just rights, and a matriarchy should replace the current patriarchy. So the allegedly existing dominance of men over women must therefore be replaced by a dominance of women over men. So one can say that the intention of classical feminism was to bring the genders closer together, whereas neo-feminism does the opposite. It separates the genders. Neo-feminism is an act of war. It's a program of social engineering which is specifically targeted at women in order to incite a war between the sexes. Remember how I mentioned social engineers in my previous video and how I made the point that they are not our friends? Well, here is one concrete example of that. Social engineers purposefully implant the idea of neo-feminism into the minds of women around the world to provoke a gender war. So, the question you might ask yourself is, why would anyone want such a situation to exist in the first place? Why would anyone want a war between the sexes? Well, there are actually a few reasons why. The most obvious one is to divide and conquer. To divide and conquer the population. If you make the people within a society fight each other, they don't have time or the resources to question and fight the establishment. There is many ways to apply this strategy, like natives versus foreigners, left wing versus right wing, black versus white. But the most potent divide and conquer strategy is man versus women. It's the most powerful strategy because it's the only division in humanity that is split exactly 50-50. So a cultivation of a gender war creates the maximum social tension, instability, and chaos. The long-term goal of the war is to weaken both genders to such an extent that it becomes much easier for the entrenched establishment to subjugate both men and women under their worldwide system of control. So I am addressing equally the followers in the Neo-Feminist and MGTOW camp here when I say you're both losing. So to those women out there running around despising men, and those men out there running around despising women, they got you. The social engineers got you right there where they want you to be. You are the pawn in their game of chess. If it was not clear by now, my intention in presenting this information is not to further divide these sexes, but to promote awareness of the manipulation tactics against both genders to expose this covert agenda. It is true that men are also being attacked by the social engineers in many ways, such as instilling the dominator versus doormat syndrome. But in the end of the day, it was found that it's way more effective to target women. The reason for this is that women possess the capability of influencing men. Most men will adjust their attitudes and behaviors to conform to women likes and preferences. So to their likes and preferences. Therefore, if the establishment can influence the minds of most women, the men and children of a society will ultimately follow. The main reason for the establishment's success in their endeavor of creating a gender war is the fact that most people in our society are ignorant of the dynamics I just elaborated on in this video. Knowledge is power. The moment people become aware of the motives and tactics applied, the establishment loses its power. So, with that being said, I will continue to publish videos like this to create an awareness for these topics and to ultimately stop this sick game of being manipulated and controlled by the establishment. With that being said, I conclude this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video and let me know in the comment section below what you think about the topic I just touched on. Thank you and see you next time.